What if your next paycheck didn't arrive on time? What if your Social Security deposit was delayed, your local office was closed, and your benefits were suddenly in question? This isn't a theory anymore, it's reality. The United States is on the edge of a full-scale government shutdown in October 2025, and it could hit harder than any before. For millions of Americans, federal workers, retirees, military families, and anyone relying on government programs, the coming weeks could bring serious financial stress. In this detailed breakdown, we'll uncover exactly how the 2025 government shutdown began, who's affected, what services are stopping, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself. Stay until the end for Chapter 10, How to Prepare and Protect Your Money, where we reveal the exact steps you can take to stay secure. What exactly is a government shutdown? When Congress fails to pass a budget or temporary funding bill, parts of the government run out of money and shut down all non-essential operations until funding resumes. That's exactly what's happening now. Lawmakers in Washington have hit a political deadlock over spending priorities, and the clock has run out. During a shutdown, federal employees are furloughed, sent home without pay, or forced to work without immediate pay. Non-essential programs and offices are temporarily closed. Contractors and grant recipients lose access to government funds. Only essential services like national security and certain benefits continue. Even so, essential doesn't mean efficient. Many systems already face severe slowdowns. Who's losing their paychecks right now? The shutdown's first and biggest impact hits America's workers. Over 2 million federal employees and 1.3 million active duty service members are directly affected. Here's what's happening. Around 800,000 civilian workers have already been furloughed. Essential personnel like TSA officers, border agents, and postal staff are working without pay. Military pay may continue temporarily under emergency authorization but could stop if the standoff continues. Back pay after the shutdown is not guaranteed until Congress approves it again. For many middle-class families, even a short delay in income means missed rent, bills, and growing debt. Are Social Security and SSI payments safe? The good news, Social Security and SSI payments will continue. These are mandatory programs, meaning their funding doesn't rely on Congress's annual approval. However, there are still side effects. Local SSA offices are operating with limited staff. New benefit applications and disability claims will face delays. Appeals and corrections may take weeks longer than usual. Customer service lines are overwhelmed, increasing wait times. So, while your existing benefits are safe, anyone waiting on approvals or updates will feel the slowdown. Medicare, Medicaid and SNAP, still working? Not all benefit programs are equally protected during a shutdown. Some rely on continuous funding that may soon run dry. Here's what we know: Medicare and Medicaid will continue covering healthcare, but customer support and appeals will slow. SNAP, food stamps, has enough emergency funds for October but could face delays or reductions in November. WIC, women, infants, and children may run out of money within weeks. VA programs continue operating but are seeing longer wait times. For low-income families, seniors, and disabled Americans, even short disruptions could cause serious harm. What's shutting down first? Shutdowns affect much more than paychecks. They disrupt everyday life in surprising ways. Already impacted, national parks and museums, closed or understaffed. IRS services, refunds and audits delayed. Small business loans and housing programs, paused. Passport and visa processing, slowed significantly. Federal courts, operating only on limited reserves. Even if you're not a government employee, your travel, business, or access to services could still be affected. IRS, refunds and tax season delays. The IRS is one of the hardest-hit agencies in this shutdown. With limited staff and frozen budgets, millions of Americans could face serious refund delays. Key impacts: tax refunds are slowed or suspended. Customer service lines are largely shut down. Amended returns and audit responses are on hold. Online tools remain open but run with limited automation. If you're expecting a refund, especially by paper check, prepare for several weeks or even months of delay. The local economic ripple effect. The shutdown doesn't just hurt federal workers, it weakens entire local economies. When millions stop receiving pay, spending declines everywhere. Economic fallout includes local restaurants and stores lose business from government workers. Contractors and suppliers stop receiving payments. State-level education and public projects face interruptions. Families cut spending, slowing economic recovery. Economists estimate every week of shutdown costs the U.S. economy billions in lost productivity and output. The political standoff, why it's happening. At the heart of the 2025 shutdown is a political deadlock. Congress failed to agree on a federal budget for the new fiscal year. The main points of conflict: border security spending and IRS funding. Cuts to entitlement programs like Medicaid and federal pensions. Pressure to reduce national debt. Both parties are using the shutdown as leverage, each blaming the other for inaction. Meanwhile, millions of citizens suffer the consequences. How long could this last? The million-dollar question: when will this end? Most government shutdowns last a few days. But the longest shutdown in U.S. history, 2018 to 2019, lasted 35 days. Experts warn this one could stretch weeks or even months, depending on Congress's actions. Each passing day means more workers missing paychecks. Growing stress on local economies. Rising public frustration. Increased risk to vital government data and systems. Until Congress acts, America remains on pause.